This is Deborah Weaver, and we are now going to do the points of measures on a basic shift dress, a ladies shift dress that we have in the other fashion sketch set section. On this, to be real, I had to do a couple adjustments. One of them, we already talked about adding the zipper here, the invisible zipper that I got from the assets that I have there that I can provide you. And I added the little indication here that there is going to be an invisible zipper in the length, which standard on this dress would be probably around 23 inches. I also had to add a back kick pleat because you wouldn't be able to walk in this dress, being that it's tight down here at the knees, without a kick pleat. That would be what it would look like on the callouts, and then we would also need to add the facing pieces for the armhole and the front neck and back neck. It could look like this. Depending on your price point, you could have it fully lined with these facings itself, and if not, you would still have to have the facings here anyway for this armhole, and then you would want to finish off your internal seams nicely and maybe bind the bottom of the zipper. Okay, so let's go right into the POMs. When we start this POM section, I'm going to go ahead and grab all of this information and take it onto another page that I've already set up that's about the approximate size of the dress. Yeah, it didn't work. Let's do it again. Control C, and I'll just paste it here. The front one will be on this page, the back one on this page, and I went ahead and already made the callouts page for those added elements here. The front neckline area with those relevant facings, the kick pleat back here, and of course the back information. Control C, let's come over here. Ready. So here's the callouts for that dress. And then now we would start another layer for the POMs, and as always we're going to want to make sure that we are starting with a red line that is 8.1, and there we have it. We can go ahead and put the arrows on it. You would for sure want to have your specs information already printed out so that you could follow along and add the POM numbers as well. The first thing though that I forgot to do is we need to add another layer for the reference information. So we're going to call this reference. Let's do this layer as reference because we want it on the bottom. And then on that layer, let's delete that. On the reference layer, you're going to have the high point shoulder information. So we always want the high point shoulder information, and it's always nice when it's a nice bright turquoise dashed line, so it's really easy to see, and it's different than the POM information that's always red. The other thing you always want to have showing is the grid so that you can just make sure when you do drop information that it is going to be straight. So here's our high point shoulder that we're going to need. It will be a lot of our reference information will come down from that. We will use it at the back as well. Other than that, I don't think that we're going to need a center front reference information or back because we have this center back seam here anyway. So let's go ahead and lock that layer. Oops, here it is. And then come back to the POMs. So when you have the POMs page printed out, you'll see that the first point of measure is the center front HPS height. We're going to make sure this is red as usual, nice bright red, no dash line, and some arrows. Let's just grab the standard arrows here. Okay, so there we have it. We do want to you would always want to double check here that your center front is not too much further below where it would be if your reference line were here as well. This blue one above, because you're always going to the center back. It's very close, so I wouldn't bother with it on this one. So there's our front, there's our back HPS height. The next one we need is the side seam. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and unlock that sketch layer so that I can grab on the seam. Looks like there are quite a few shaped lines and anchor points here, so just make sure you're grabbing the entire line. Control C. let's lock that layer back, come up here, Control F, we'll put it exactly in the same place, and let's click on the size of the line that we want there. Move it outside so we can clearly show and add the arrows. At this point, when we get all those lines, it means that the line isn't connected, so we hit Command J and it connects the whole line to be one continuous line. So that is our side seam height. The across shoulder is up here from the outer edge of the shoulder to here. So there's our across shoulder. We have our shoulder forward. So again, I'm going to go ahead and reduce the size of the arrow over here so that it's easier for me to see that shoulder forward line. Zoom in and get the shoulder forward, which will be right here, right down the middle when it's the same on the neck edge and the armhole edge. There's our shoulder forward. Next one is our shoulder slope from the HPS reference. We forgot to add that HPS verbiage that needs to be here for this reference layer. It should say HPS. You have to always write what the reference information is about what you have on the page. You should never just leave it blank. Oops, that's not the right version. Close enough. And it's duplicated at the back. Always when you have reference information, you want to give the short information about what it is. Okay, so we left off at the shoulder slope. We need the neck opening, which we'll do at the back over here. Typically when you're speccing, you will be taking this type of garment from the front, but there's less information at the back. It's sometimes better to have it back there. And then we have the front neck drop from the HPS reference always, and in this garment it's coming here. And depending on the different factors that you're working with, you may or may not want to add another one that's from here to this point. But for now we're doing it as the PDF provided. And then we have the back neck drop. It's going to go again from the HPS reference down to the back edge. We can zoom in later to see whether we've got them all right on the edges where we need them. And then now we have a center front slit opening 10 and 11, which is in here. We are going to need another reference line, so we'll put it on that layer. It's going from here. Talking about this slit here. So this next one, the first one is from here down to the opening of the slit, the height of it, and then the next one is the opening width of this. We're going to definitely zoom in on this one to make sure we have the arrows precise. It's a little too far to see that. This should be in the same position as the other one, because they are basically measuring to the same point. Let's get up to there and move this one up a little bit. Okay, so now it's directly over that reference, so I'm going to go ahead and, in the case of this, see if I can show it just slightly. That's good enough. Okay, so there's the front slits information. The next one is going to be the armhole straight. Let's do it over, whoops. Let's do that one over here. Armhole straight. And then we have the across front and the across back, but again, in the case of a typical ladies garment, it's 5.5 to 6 inches below. I would go probably 5.5. It's easier to go for 5.5 when you're doing, whether it's junior or missy. Let me make the arrows back to the normal size. You don't need them all to be small. Okay, so there's the across front. Let's And then we'll do it again on the cross back. That's in the same position. And then we have the bust, which is 1 inch below the armhole. It's always called bust for ladies, chest for men. And then we're going to have the waist, which typically is 16 to 16.5 inches. You can check your mannequins and or your samples to have it match. So that is the waist. And then now we're going to do the bust dart. So the first one is, where is the bust dart down from the armhole, which is right here, from here to here. The next one is, what is the length of the dart itself? So just add that right onto the dart. And then we have the front princess information. So on this one, we have this separation of the two top points. We're also going to need the position down from the HPS of where it's starting. So these numbers are going to have to be a lot smaller. So make sure that matches up with the point of the dart, which is where it's coming, the measurement is asking for. Okay, and then we're going to have the separation at the waist. Let's just put it right at the very bottom of the other one. They should be together because they're both talking about the waist. Let's move them both down a tad. And then with the separation at the bottom on the front dart. So the front dart is asking for all of these POMs, from position from HPS, separation at the bust tips, separation at the waist, separation at the bottom tips. And then the back is going to basically be the same, so let's just duplicate all of them. Bring them over. And let's do these on this side. These are measured by half because you have a back seam here. So you wouldn't measure the separation full. The other one, makes it easier for the pattern maker to see where it has to go by doing it the separation positions. Mix that up. Okay, and then we are going to eventually do zipper length too, but that'll be at the end. So let's see, we were at the back princess dart. So now we have the back neck facing information, which is over here. And in that one, let's fix that to come down to HPS. First one that we're talking about is the back neck facing height, which is this. At the center back, we're also going to need one for the center front, which is talking about here to here. Looks like we use some reference lines, so I'm just going to add it right here. That work. Okay, so that's the front opening there, and then we want to know what is the width at the shoulder. So the width at the shoulder would be right here, and then again for the center front, here's the shoulder at the front. And then we're going to need the one for the armhole information. We can go ahead and put that on this side. We're going to need it for here, and we're going to need it for down here. Okay, so those are all the facing pieces. The last couple that we're going to have is going to be this kick pleat, which is here and here. You can see those arrows are too big for that, so let's go back and drop in those smaller arrows. Okay, so to make sure we didn't miss anything as we're adding the numbers in, we can just see, we should have a body hand height. I don't see that anymore, so let's add that here on the front. Again, hem should always be straight. Okay, so to speed this up, I went ahead and added the numbers that we're going to need here. So let's go back now and see that this is the front HPS. I'm going to put it way down here so it's way out of the way and can't be confused with anything else. Number 2 is the back HPS, which is here. We have the side seam height is number 3. Number 4 is the across shoulder. Let's put that. You can see it's going to be tricky in here because there's a lot of POMs here. So let's move that one right here. The shoulder forward is number 5. This one I think we should probably add a little small reference line. And we always want to be super fine so that it's not fighting the information about the POM. Okay, so there's number 5. Number 6 is the slope. It's over here. I'm going to make that number smaller so that it seems like it matches the smaller number better. I mean, the smaller line better. Neck opening width, we put that at the back here. That's 7. And then we have the front neck drop. That's here. Let's put it right in the middle. The back neck drop is here. Let's make that small enough to fit in there and see if it doesn't get concealed by any way. That's good. That's the back neck drop. Now we have 10 and 11. Let's make it the same size as this is our smallest number. So we have the center front slit opening width, which is 10. That's for this line. And then number 11 is for the height. And let's make it super small and see if we can put it close enough to the line that we don't need a reference line. We might need one on this one. Let's go ahead and add one there. I drop on that fine 0.25. So we're at the armhole straight, which is 12. The across front, which is 13. So I'm going to move this so you can't mistake it whatsoever for 13, which is here. So let's put 13 there. 14 is the across back, which is not there. Let's go ahead and put that here. 5.5 inches down. You get the hang of seeing where things are when you're a pattern maker on the actual patterns. Okay, so the across back is 14, and now we have the bust is 15. Starting to get a little less crowded. In this area, 15. Let's go 16 is the waist width. I'll put that out here. 17 is the bust start. So here's 17A is the position down from the armhole. Let's make that a smaller number so it goes better with these smaller lines. And then we have 17B. Sometimes in the case of this, I'm going to go ahead and rotate that just so that it makes it a little bit more clear that it's going to that dart line. 17B, and then we have the front princess darts, which let's make all of these dart POMs smaller like this number. So the first one, 18A, is the separation at the top. That's this. 18B is the position down from the HPS, which I'm going to go ahead and rotate that one too, so that it's more obvious. That's the position down from the HPS. C is the separation at the waist, and D is the separation at the bottom here. The back princess starts with 19A, which is this one here, and then B is down from the HPS. C is the one at the waist, and D is the one at the tips. Number 20 is the back neck facing information. So here we have the back neck facing height, and 21 is the width of the shoulder. We'll make that one this size. A little bit smaller, but not quite small as the other ones. Then 22 is the center front facing height, which is this one. 23 is the center front facing height width shoulder, which is right here. I'm going to make that one the smaller size, the 10. And then we have the armhole facing at the shoulder, which is number 24. So that's the same as 23 basically. 25 is the armhole facing at the underarm, that one's 25 down here. And then we have the kick pleat back here, which is the height, it's 26. 27 is the width. 28 is the front sweep, which I don't have there yet, so let's put that there. And then 29 is the back sweep one side, I'll put that one right here. And 30 is the hem height. Let's move this over here. Put a back sweep line there. And then a front sweep. They're separated because the back has that kick pleat. So this is the front sweep. Make sure it's meeting the outer edge. And then the back pleats. Sorry, the back sweep is just going to go. Always better to just grab a line instead of having to mess with adding the arrows. The back one's going to go from here to here. These will be the same on the other side. We'll have to go that far too because it'll come back to. Actually, we'll have to go farther. So we'll have to go in and add another POM for that because the one on the wearer's left would be wider. So we would go ahead and make that number an A. The back sweep one side, we would separate out by the wearer's right and the wearer's left. Because this one would have to be wider. You can see it right here when I'm adding the arrows, that it's clear it would have to be wider. So let's go ahead and move that one down just a tad. So we can move this down and show that the wearer's right side would have to come over to the other side of this kick pleat. Actually, can't show it back here either because that's something else. Okay, so there you have it, the POMs for the shift dress. Okay, just a quick update to the shift dress here. We needed to add the E measurements on both of the darts. That's the total dart length on the front and on the back. And we needed to add the zipper POM, which was number 31. All right, so that's it to the ads, and that will be on the specs pages. Thank you.